What is up, YouTube? Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. It is the bright and early morning after. And quick update on the XLCH, since I haven't been working on this the last couple days with holiday things. But where we are at, frame's still here, untouched. Not really doing anything with this, just kind of taking up space at the moment. I thought about moving it, still might. But here's where we sit. Like I said, frame's on the bench, motor's in pieces. Got the heads over here. Or not the heads, but I got the valve covers here, crank is over here, push rods and all that are in here, all the trans bearings down there, and the shifter stuff. The rest of the motor and other parts are spread over here, so transmission, cams, oil pump drive. Parts are everywhere. It's the worst thing in the world. I hate having things spread out like this. I really like having them apart and go back together right away. However, we're playing the waiting game. Cases are over at my buddy's shop. He should hopefully have them done this week. He's helping me out on this one. We're kind of trading work, so not highest priority for him, so as soon as he can get those finished for me, he knows I'm waiting on him, but I'm not going to bug him about it. So he's going to fix those up. These cylinders are done. I just haven't picked them up. I finished porting the other head, accidentally nicked one of the guides just a little, so he's going to have to recut both seats, so I just gave him both heads. So he has the cylinders and heads, so the entire top end is over there minus the valve covers. Bottom end is in a box. I don't have cases to do anything, so I'm kind of playing the waiting game. So in the meantime, there's a bunch of oddity frame stuff I got to do on this, but I got to bring the welder back from the shop, get that set up on here to do the sissy bar mounts. Don't like wasting a bunch of time since I do have some days off, so I still got to keep chipping away on this. So the morning after Christmas is going to be, let's build a Sportster transmission. Obviously you can see it's kind of half assembled, kind of not. I didn't take any of this apart thoroughly. I just yanked everything apart right away, knowing that I'm going to go through all of it like I'm going to do right now. So countershaft and the gears are off. The shifter arms are still on here. Main shaft is still assembled, so we're going to disassemble this all the way and then slap it back together. So let me get you guys turned around and set up, and we'll get rolling on this. Okay, XLCH transmission, not too complicated. There are a lot of these little washers and thrust washers that you got to look out for, so try and keep all those together. Got your big ones here on the countershaft. So, countershaft is over here. We are going to disassemble and look through everything. These I've already kind of looked over. They are in pretty good shape. No major nicks, a little bit of rounding on the edges. But on a bike like this, there's no way that I am going to go through and replace all of the gears on a Sportster, because that adds up really fast. Like I said, a little bit of rounding, but overall these are in really good shape. Checked through all the teeth look good. I'm going to grab some brake clean and just kind of spray these down real quick a little bit too. Normally I'll put these in a degrease tank. A little bit of rusting on the outside of this edge, but the inside of the gears, there's some crap on there. Really, they're just dirty though. If I was going crazy or doing any sort of race application with this, I would probably go through and replace a ton of these. But it's not in the cards right now because gears get expensive. And you buy the cheapo V-twin ones and they don't fit. So Andrew's gears are a little too much for this build. Counter shaft is out. We're going to yank the main shaft outer half. Like so. This gear locks onto the dog, or the dog. So this will pop out like so. Just going to reassemble everything on here. I'm going to go through all of this in a minute too, but just for now, keep everything kind of organized. Your high gear is going to stay in. I'm not doing anything with this one, so that's going to stay right in the bearing. I don't need to change that. So if you rotate this, this is your shift drum right here. Not drum, but shift plate. All I did here was rotate this just a little bit. This will allow me enough room to get this off. Do not lose your little top hat rollers that go on here. And this one is STD, so this is the standard size. Let's see what the other one is. I got no markings on this one. Okay, standard goes on the outside, which is fine. And we can pop this pin out real quick. wrench here and a hammer. It's in there tight. So I'll check the bearing here. Feels fine. Spins free. No resistance on that one. So that should work. Check this, make sure these bearings are all rotating freely like this. So trapdoors should be pretty okay. These trapdoors are machined with the case, if it's all matching. At this juncture, I have no idea if it is or isn't. And I didn't really go through and check anything on this. It shifted through the gears okay, but I never wrote it or have any full experience of how good this transmission was or was not. So now we are looking at a giant pile of gears. This I'm going to set off to the side for now, and I will grab some brake clean, spray all this stuff down, clean it up a little bit. Real cold doing this in the garage today. Heat's going, but brake clean gets real cold on the fingers. So all I'm doing is taking these, hitting them, clearing off some of the oil and grease, so we can give these a better look over. I can break apart this main shaft further if I needed to, but there's really no need. I have kind of given all of this a quick once over. I guess I'll put this up here. I don't know how bright or how good any of this is going to show up on the camera, but all of these gears look to be in pretty good shape. Main shaft looks okay, no major nicks or wear, you know, just general wear along the area where this is going to ride on the bearings. But overall, not too bad. A little bit of rust on the outside face of the gears, a little bit of crap down here in the very center. But again, I'm not rebuilding this transmission on this application. Well, I'll rebuild the transmission, just give it all once over, but I'm not trying to replace every gear set. It's just not the most affordable thing in the world. Male, female. Like so. So just to verify, I don't remember what I just said in the last video. I think I might have thrown that on here like this. I honestly can't remember. I slapped it on and then realized I should probably specify that. This side goes in towards the gear cluster. This side has a slight little lip to it. That goes out. Come on. Like so. Good on the countershaft. So there's your countershaft assembly. Spins free on these two. These two are fixed to the actual countershaft. This is what will engage in between your gears. Countershaft is good. Now, on to the trapdoor. This is where it gets a little goofy. It's not too bad. But there is an order to how all of these need to go together. Okay, so had everything assembled, just slightly disassembled for reassembly. This gear will sit on here. We got our shift fork. Which will kind of drop in like so. We're going to get all these kind of lined up first. Then drop our counter shaft in here. I'm going way out of order here, just to give you guys a rough idea of how this will all go together. Here's your clusters. So counter shaft, shifter. This is the unknown size one. It'll drop in place like so. Now we have a semi-assembled unit, and our other shift fork will come into here, drop in like so. Make sure you don't lose the rollers. Like I said, this one you might need to tweak a little to get it into position. Make sure all of these line up. I have this in backwards. Let me turn this around. I only know that because I used a punch on the other side to get that out. So everything's kind of loose and floating in here. This gear will pop right out. But, quick tappy tap, just to hold that shifter arm or shifter rod in. Now, 2 more gears. You got the other half of the main shaft, which will slip fit right in here, like so. And your speedo drive, don't forget your little washer. Which will slide there. Speedo drops in there. And there is your shifter, or transmission assembly. So really not too terrible. Hopefully that's of some significance or helps somebody. If you're worried about it, they're really not that complicated. There are a million diagrams. I know I've looked at a ton of stuff on Tatra Machine. He's got a phenomenal YouTube channel for detailed Harley stuff. Very, very useful. I wish I had half the skills that he did, but 'tis what it is. Do what you can with what you got. So, XLCH transmission is done. This is going to sit on a shelf until I get all the rest of the parts. And then we'll do another video on the actual install of this. This has got to get pressed in a tiny bit more still, but that's fine. And there we have it. Got the transmission back assembled. No idea when I'm going to be doing anything else with this because I'm waiting on parts that are everywhere. So, thanks for watching. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, or give me a like, or if I did something catastrophically wrong that you think is the worst thing in the world, or that I should probably replace a couple of these gears that have a little bit of wear, yell at me in the comments. That's fine too. Do not mind. Not going to happen. I won't listen to you, but I do appreciate reading them. Give me something to do, and I like having conversations with some people on here. Grow the community, if you will, on people that like old crappy junk. 'Tis what it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.